Hello and welcome to this week's Climate Dispatch. Johanna Miller, Vermont Natural Resources Council, here once again with my colleague Warren Hurl, Vermont Conservation Voters, and we're very grateful to have snagged the time of Representative Kate Logan of Burlington. Representative Logan is a member of the House Environment and Energy Committee, so we're excited to hear about what they're doing on climate and clean energy in a moment. But this has been a big week for climate once again. The Senate voted on the Climate Superfund bill on third reading, 26-3. This is a massive and important priority to hold big oil accountable, ensure that they pay their fair share for the cost of the damages from human-induced climate change. So it's a big bill, it's a big priority. It's now in the House, which is exciting. As you all know, the Renewable Energy Standard also moved over from the House. Thank you so much, Representative Logan, for your work there. We know there's more work to be done around the equity and accessibility piece of that in particular, but the Renewable Energy Standard will be taken up, we anticipate, next week in Senate Natural Resources and Energy. So there's a lot of momentum, there's more things happening. And one other bill we haven't talked to you as much about, but is very important, and is the S305, which is the miscellaneous PUC bill, the Public Utility Commission bill. There are several provisions in that bill that are important. There are a couple provisions in particular that we're hoping are included that are priorities for you, Representative Logan, that would support beneficial electrification and access for all of Vermonters in the clean energy transition. What would you like to see in particular in that bill and in climate progress more specifically?
Yes, thank you. S305 is a great opportunity to address a couple concerns actually that I had coming out of our conversations about the Renewable Energy Standard, that as we beneficially electrify as much as we possibly can, that we are making that as possible for low and moderate income Vermonters as we are for better off folks who have the upfront cash to be able to invest in new electrification technology. So S305 hits across the board on that, and we're hoping to add an additional couple pieces into that bill. One that is going to look at how we might create a statewide program to stabilize energy costs for low-income Vermonters. There are a lot of programs in place at the utility level right now that do help low-income Vermonters stabilize costs, but we need a holistic look at those programs, and we need to consider that the demographics in every utility are different, and so we probably need to consider a statewide approach to that to ensure that all of our distribution utilities are able to offer that benefit to their customers without passing the cost on to middle income folks in those communities as well. So really excited to talk more about a study on energy cost stabilization being added to S305. Additionally, as we transition to more renewable energy, we really need to be talking about how to expand access to the ability to build large thermal networks, thermal energy networks in our communities. So I'm excited about considering an amendment to S305 to authorize especially municipalities or larger developments to be able to bring thermal energy networks online and add that to our renewable energy portfolio in Vermont.
Yeah, it's very exciting stuff, and hope to see that move. Another bill I know your committee has started work on this week is the Flood Safety Act, S213, which has moved over from the Senate to you all and was another big climate priority for us, knowing that coming out of the flooding and climate-induced damage we're already seeing to our communities. So any thoughts on how that's getting going in your committee so far?
Yes, we definitely see this as a huge priority for this session. We all want to take action to make sure that our communities recover from the flooding that we've experienced in the last year, as well as prepare for the next time that it happens and try to mitigate in advance the worst possible outcomes of flooding. I have a particular interest in S213 because I work in my other job in homelessness services. And as many of us are becoming aware, there are a lot of lower income households who live in floodplains because that's affordable land where you can build affordable housing. And for the work that I do, providing rental assistance to youth transitioning out of homelessness, 100% of the residents in apartments that we provide rental assistance funding for in Washington County lost their housing in the flood. Mm-hmm. We don't want to see that happen again. So I consider S213 an environmental justice bill, and we really need to take the time to figure out how to ensure that the most vulnerable folks in Vermont are not subjected to flood after flood and losing their homes again.
Yeah, thanks so much for that perspective. It's a huge priority of ours and really excited. It's so important in so many ways. And so we always like to finish these with a call to action. And this week, we're just asking you to call on your representative or representatives and let them know you support S213, the Flood Safety Act. They're just kind of starting to hear about it, so it'd be great to start getting some positive messages in that that's a priority of all of you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And for all of your work, and we'll be back with you next week.
Thanks.